Hajimemashite everybody. Sorry, I haven't done like a video recently. Tashi no namae wa Shinta desu. So I've been doing videos in different like places. I decided I need to sit down today, so I'm sitting on my couch. I've just readjusted it. I was hoping this was going to be a little bit longer, but it didn't turn out to be as long as I thought, so I had to kind of figure out what to do within the rest of the couch. So this is why you see the colors slightly different, but I think they still sort of match our space. Anyway, thank you for coming over. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you for popping over and seeing my lives. It's been an interesting week. We know that video-wise, lots of music videos are out, and the talk of the town right now is that Megan the Stallion song with the Japanese singer. I just want to, emphasize the fact that a lot of music from the East is now literally being molded into the West. Even K-pop, for instance, BTS. Very interesting group. Listen to some of their newer songs. Very nice, very nice. And I never specifically kind of zoomed in on their voices specifically, but their voices are absolutely gorgeous, all of them. From Suga to Jin, yeah, I'll probably take it out. So everybody in the group just has an overall beautiful sound. There've been a couple of complications, I think, in the group because of the army and the things that have been happening in their lives, but I don't want to get into that. That's their own personal thing. My personal opinion is if they were living in the States, none of this would have happened, because a lot of people in the United States do things that are far worse. So yeah, it's just my personal opinion. Even, living in Japan, things... Don't forget, our generation had no cameras or anything, my generation. Meaning lots of things people probably never knew about that we personally got away with, that people didn't realize until they tried it, and now they cannot get away with it because now we have cameras everywhere. Like the phones are cameras, right? The phones are also computers. So yeah, going back into that subject of Asia meets West, it is like a new fad that's going on right now. I've met a group that deals with that particular topic. The guy who started this company called Surf Music also worked for Sony. Turns out he had taken the production course I had taken many years ago in Japan. He graduated in 2010. I graduated in 1998. And I still have the tracks. I should probably play them for you guys in a few moments. I might actually even play it on the live, so you guys will be able to listen in and I'll be able to play it on the live, so you can hear the progression of where I've gone or what I've done to what I've done in the past to where I'm going now. So this company, Surf, is looking for musicians or producers, I suppose, who are dealing with music that could sync in with Japanese K-pop and Korean pop music. So they're basically commissioning musicians to come in and develop the songs that they probably cross-collaborate with in Japan and Korea, probably starting off in Japan because it is a Japanese-based company. It's also a company that is also located in the States, located in like New York. So I'm hoping to get involved. I don't know the whole detail. I know the company that I did register and start had something to do with this kind of subject, but it wasn't completely just all music. I had a larger vision for nomadics. So when I put my mind to developing tracks or considering developing tracks for a company that deals with a similar subject that I kind of was thinking towards bringing people together and doing, not necessarily just in music, but on a larger scale than that. We just have to make sure that the documentation and the filings and contracts are done properly and correctly, so we all know where we stand, because it could get pretty interesting if we do not listen to each other, right? Listening to each other makes a difference when it comes down to developing a company, a project, a vision. So there's all that goes into play. I do want to, if, say for instance, this does become like a successful developmental vision for music, then I would, I would start building up nomadics more. I think you guys know that I'm a multimedia artist, so multimedia is definitely the direction that I am wanting to kind of bring a larger scale together with. We'll see what happens. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video out, because it really does matter and it does help me build this vision up. But, YouTube is just as important as anything else on the other platforms and social media outlets. And as an artist, you do want to have a presence on social media, because that is the way we talk and communicate now. It might not have been like that before, but we do have the access and capabilities of doing stuff like this more frequently. And since I work for myself as an artist, I do think it's even more important to do this. I have to consider myself as a producer now, not just a musician, because I think I've gone past just the musician. And I know that there are not that many people who are technically zoned in on understanding the production side. I like personally the production side because I'm a bit of a techie, which is why I do it. I feel that it's not just about music, but also about what you put out there in regards to style and fashion and all that other stuff. Music videos, it's a good example. Why is art important with music? Because you need to understand color contrast, developing a vision, storyboards, just a whole bunch of things in order to get that point across that you're going to do, for instance, in your music, in the track that you're working on. So there are lots and lots of things to put into consideration when you're doing the arts, right? That's my takeaway from this whole thing. Just make sure that contracts are written and signed before anybody starts working on anything, my personal opinion. I do the same thing with nomadics. I try to make sure people sign the contract. If they don't, then I don't work with them. It's just that simple. The same thing applies. I don't like to be taken off of Fiverr, because that is a platform that is safe and secure, and I feel like if you're going to, like for instance, you guys can reach out to me, but reach out to me on my Fiverr account. You can message me there, you can ask me questions, you can ask me about classes, all of those other things that fall into place with that format, because that's business and financial related kind of subjects on that end. So, each platform has its own personal branding. YouTube is a longer progression, and it's been around for much longer, so they're watching to see how people react on this platform. The lives seem to take well. My videos probably not as much, because I'm not moving around as much. I'm kind of staying stagnant in one place. I don't have a huge studio. I'm not trying to want to have a huge studio. Don't forget, times are changing, technology is shifting, and what was happening then is no longer happening now. So maybe the whole point is to have more products that are Bluetooth connectable rather than cable connectable, because cables are out. You have something you could perhaps move around. It might be easier to travel with. I don't know, doing it on the phone, also doing it on your iPad. These are all the things that we didn't have that. When I was taking production classes, I never thought that I'd ever use something like a phone, like an iPhone or an iPad, let alone them even existing at the time. We just had, the introduction of a laptop was just coming out. So we were on desktops and nothing was portable and everything had cables, and just the soundboard was much larger. You can compact it now. It's the compact is the thing. I mean, I'm not going to be moving around my equipment because it's just too much I'm not going to take a chance. So if I'm going to be shifting and moving around, it will have to be on smaller compact equipment. So so that's where I am right now. I'm just basically sitting and enjoying listening in on what other people are talking about in the music. I really am enjoying the BTS songs. They are sounding, the new ones, the new released pieces are actually quite beautiful. So if you haven't taken a listen to the new BTS stuff, you guys need to go take a look. If you're into, I think almost anybody is into K-pop, right? Japanese J-pop, which is Japanese pop, is not as familiar. I think Megan the Stallion has put it out there for the new generation to listen to the new tracks. They have been around. I studied with Hikaru. Not I studied, but we were in school with Hikaru when Hikaru Utada. She's like a world famous pop singer from Tokyo, and she was actually my sister's class. So we had gone to school with some of the kids that are now like becoming recognizable or have already been famous for years. So sometimes fame is good, but sometimes fame is not good because people recognize you and see you around and they want your autograph all the time. I'm sure it gets frustrating. And back then it was different now. I mean, you have security guards and, you know, if you want to try to get to somebody, you have to go through their lawyers to make sure that it's okay to meet up with them or connect up with them. It's a very complex situation until you become like yourself, the individual yourself becomes preferably a successful character. Then you start seeing things starting to develop and understand why things are placed a certain way. You know, the whole key is not just to be an observer, but the key is to be the creator that makes the success out of yourself. Jules just went viral on, she's wonderful queen, just went viral on social media, on TikTok. She's great. I love her stuff. She's like modest and humble as you can ever be, and I just think that is what success should do. Is it shouldn't give you a big head, but rather humble yourself by experiencing and knowing you've experienced going through the struggles to get to a certain stage, to experience the luxuries in life, and to understand what it takes to become successful, but without vanity. Too many people become too vain and success kind of gets to their head. You want to keep it humble, like the modesty is what's important, right? I've seen it happen too many times. I know people it's happened to, and it breaks my heart because they just change. The changing of the individual is just never a fantastic thing. So I just wanted to pop in on here because I haven't done like a landscape video in a while. I also wanted to show off what we did to our couch because I think the colors are nice, very pumpkin-y, very Halloween-y. We're going into Halloween, so this is sort of like a nice little layout. I do have a broken leg, so I do have to on occasion sit on a couch versus just sitting on a stool. I feel as if today is the sitting on the couch day, so I might continue my little discussion here on the lives. And that's basically what I'm going to talk about on this brief chat. I just wanted to talk about the fact that there is that new phase of music where people are beginning to pick up Eastern music and bring it into like rap or hip hop or house music. I mean, I've seen BT, not BET, but BT is also working with Japanese DJs. So I'm very interested to get involved in that side because I think my music is very Japanese. It's probably more Asian than it is American, to be honest with you, because I did live in Japan for that long. To pick up the eclectic of what Asia feels like. I didn't just go in as a person visiting the country. I actually lived there. It makes a difference. When you're creating music, it has a different ambiance. So that's basically it. I do hope that this company that I've locked into is serious about this and it will help me build up my professional standard in music. I really do hope that that is the case and not anything I should be concerned about, but on a positive note, it becomes successfully a good place to rekindle musical friendships. My sister and my mom are coming down soon. They should be here next week. Oh, this coming weekend. So I'm trying to, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm trying to get my sister. I think her friends are going to come down to see her, but they don't want to just see her. They want to watch her perform. So they're staying at the Marriott, and I'm like, spoke to the manager at the Marriott, and I said, can we possibly use one of your spaces to do a small little concert? Because my sister's quite like recognized in the music industry in South Africa, and I figured maybe this might be like a nice little like surprise for her friends. She can just do a little bit, like maybe 3 songs or something, and they can have food at the Marriott and enjoy her little music concert that she can just do as a solo artist. As long as she has a backtrack, it should be a workable thing. I don't think my mom will do any opera, but I can always ask her if she wants to do some singing for something. I don't know. Bring her over here and have her play some piano. Who knows? Make life easy. We don't want to complicate people's lives. But I think Maya will be too tired to be running around trying to find a place to do a gig. I think the solution is for her to sit down, have them relax at the Marriott and know that she can go downstairs and the place is set for her to do a small little concert. Since she is, in theory, her and my mom, in theory, are paying for the hotel, we don't have a big space, or else I'd have her stay with us. They're going to be there for about 10 days, so I figure maybe one of those days she can definitely perform, do something, an evening, have her friends over. I'm just waiting to get the feedback from the director and see what they have to say about it. I would be very thrilled to hear them say, we can do it, and it will be very interesting for her to perform, and actually she is very good. So yeah, this will be exciting. I hope it does work out. Anyway, so I wanted to just talk about music stuff today. Arigatou gozaimashita. Matashita sayonara. And jane bye-bye. And I will see you guys in the next one. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video out, comment if you can comment, ask me questions in the comments about music. The subject is Japanese, Asian, Korean, in contrast to molding the sounds together with more Western kind of elements. It has been going on for a while, but it hasn't been happening like as frequently on a public spectrum as it has been, because now we get the chance to see TikTok is showing the world. So we're all getting a chance to see where and what happens in each part of the world, which is so cool. And like I said, technology has allowed us to open up that door and have a discussion on it and integrate ideas. So I give it up to the companies that are doing this. I think I respect it very much that they're opening up these barriers and using it as something we can use and utilize as a collective. Okay guys, I'll speak to you in the next one and see you in the next one. Bye.